Hey guys, let's start working on the cell week. So that week it's all about cells, and I wanted to get started with a little disclaimer. I know that in the diagram it is shown as on par with the cells, but the viruses was really weird little thing are actually not alive. We don't know. We don't know, guys. That's the thing we cannot classify. So viruses are extremely weird. And a virus is actually not classified among the life forms. It's alive but not alive. It's really weird. There are more information in the video to review the material for this week. You will have links towards viruses, resources that are also later in the class, in the course. But I just wanted to have a disclaimer about viruses. If you heard of them, they are hard to classify. Everything else holds, but viruses in our life classification. Speaking of life classification, we have three domains. The domains of prokaryote, three domains that are really broken down in two, people say kingdom or super kingdom. So you have the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. Way in there in eukaryotes. But when you break things down, you do have the same eukaryote here, but prokaryotes are bacteria. Those are domain and archaeobacteria, right? Archaeobacteria, also called archaea in the domain, right? So those three domains in eukaryote. Notice how we finish with A, archaea, bacteria, eukarya, whereas prokaryotes, eukaryotes, it's another dichotomy. And it's really handy because some of those differences between eukaryotes and prokaryotes apply bacteria and archaea being different from eukarya in the same ways. So those ways being there are no organelles here. That means no nucleus, no, anything that's membrane bounded. So nucleus, reticulum, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, a lot of things you learn this week in the work we talk about later, but they're not present here. This is just a cell with a big soup in it for bacteria and archaea. Eukarya have some structure, the eukaryotes, and that's organelle bound structures. So that's a big difference. Now you don't want to think that those are more advanced than those because there is something really easy, a simple idea of the bush of life, and to explain it, there is nothing more on point than to actually go and listen to the TED Talk I shared with you by Prosenta Chakrabarti from the first week, the scientific study of life. It's really important for you to understand that everything on Earth to this day, today, has evolved as long as everything else. So we are all on the edges of that bush, right? Archaeobacteria, archaea seems to sound like older, but they really not. We all have the same shared history. We all have the same time since the beginning of life because we all alive now. The only older organisms are the ones that died now, that are dead, that don't have descendants, so that's the fossils, the ones that don't exist anymore. Okay, with that being said, there's a little thing I wanted to talk about, the last thing here. In bacteria, when we present them, we usually make those flagellum structure, right? And we talked about it at the end of the PowerPoint this week. So those structures are actually cytoskeleton kind of part, like they're not really cytoskeleton, but they are kind of. So there's that's my it's let's go with cytoskeletons, microtubules, and the important part is the little engine, the motor is at the bottom here, and that's where the energy is expended to move the flagellum. What is a thing you can think about that's similar? It's the cat or dog's tail. So careful, guys. This is my drawing of a cat. Wow, wow. Yeah, I am not proud. I am not proud of what I've just done. But cat's tail or dog's tails, no muscles here. Like there is a muscle that starts from here and that goes a little bit in the tail, but mainly all the cat's tail movement, all the dog's tail movement is due to energy expended at the base of the tail. There's no muscles there. Same thing as a flagellum. That's the exact same thing as your hand. Believe it or not, no muscle in any of your fingers. There is no muscle here. It's only tendon and flesh. Muscles are in your hand and your palm, but there are no muscles in your fingers. What do you use to move your fingers? You use muscle in your forearms and your hand. And you can look at it when you move your fingers, you see your forearm moving because tendons go from the tip of your finger attached to muscles all along your forearms and hand. So really, that's tiny little details that I found really cool because you find that same principle, hand muscle not being in the fingers or in the tail of cats and dogs, in a bacteria flagellum. Okay, see you next time. Take care.